is culture? When we say culture, what do we mean? Actually, from my research, there is no easy definition of culture. Culture is the things that people do, the things that people believe, the customs that people follow. It is in fact the social and physical environment in which people live. This is culture. Culture can be good and culture can be bad. The criterion or the means that we should judge our behavior, therefore, is not as Muslims based upon culture. It is not based upon what the people around us do. It is not based upon what my mother and father and my grandfather. It is not based upon what the people happen to be doing around us and what is normative behavior amongst them. No, that is not what our religion is based upon. The religion of Islam and being a Muslim is based upon what we have already said. The guidance from Allah in the Quran and the example of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the basis of being Muslim, and this is the basis of Islam. Now some people will say, are you telling me that my ancestors are misguided? Are you telling me that my father and my grandfathers are wrong? Well, in response to this, I will ask you, are you telling me that your father and your grandfathers are infallible? That they could make no mistake? That they could not possibly in any way fail to misunderstand Islam? Are you telling me it is impossible that they have misunderstood or misrepresented something from the religion by mistake? If you know they have made a mistake, will you follow their mistake? If you know they have done something wrong, will you keep following them in wrong? If that is your choice, how can you claim to be Muslim? If you know that what your ancestors are doing, if you know that what your culture teaches is against the teaching of the Quran and is against the teaching of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what does it mean, Muslim? What does the word mean, Muslim? Do you submit to Allah or do you submit to your culture? Make your choice. Because believe me, brothers and sisters, no prophet came to his people except they said exactly this: we are following the way of our ancestors. Read the Quran. I invite you, read it. But you see, that's the problem. No one bothers to read the Quran. No one bothers to study the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first word that Allah revealed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Iqra, read, read in the name of your Lord who created you from a thing that clings. Read, and your Lord is most generous. He taught mankind by the use of the pen that which they did not know. Yes, the pen, qalam, writing, reading. And yet how many people have read the Quran? How many Muslims have read the Quran? And I don't mean, and of course I want to make an important point here, reading the Quran in Arabic is an act of virtue for which you will be rewarded even if you do not understand it. I in no way, shape or form am discouraging or intend to discourage anybody from learning to read the Quran in Arabic. It is in fact only the Quran in Arabic. Once it is translated, it is not technically the Quran anymore. It is the speech of Allah in Arabic. However, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in Surah Al-Baqarah, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Alif Lam Mim, this is the book, لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, without doubt, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. It is guidance for the pious people. It is guidance. But you know, people have a habit. I think it's a habit they have in India. They wrap the Quran in cloth. And they put the Quran high, 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 high up. on the highest shelf that they can find. This is what they do. And they say, we are honoring the Quran. Yet in the house, there is the TV, low down. But what is on the TV? There it is. There's the Qibla. It's not Mecca. There's the Qibla. The TV, Bollywood, the movies, the music. The haram is taking place in the house and the Quran is high up. What is in the Quran? They have no idea. What does the Quran say? They don't know. They never read it. They never studied it. And these, by the way, I'm not talking only here about illiterate people. We're not only talking about people in the countryside who are farmers who can't read or write, if there are any of those people who cannot read and write left. Some of these are people who are engineers, IT consultants, professionals. They spent years and years, 3, 4, 5 years in university, in college, studying stuff that even if I look at the title, Java 1.3, this and that language, I don't know what, and even looking at the title gets my head confused. Yet they can open it and tell you what it's about. Yet the Quran, they have not even read the Quran from cover to cover, and they call themselves Muslim. They do not understand. And when I say they read it, they didn't read it in a language they could understand. They have not even read the Quran in a language that they can understand. And what they know of Islam is the few things that their parents have taught them. And so they look at Islam as something that is part of their culture.